GTA 5, unlike other releases from Rockstar, never saw single-player DLC. Yes, despite the game's enormous success, multiple ports, and the pop culture impact of GTA Online, Rockstar never sought to expand on the story, and now we kind of know why.
In an interview with Game Informer, Rockstar's Director of Design Imran Sawar has explained why single-player DLC for GTA 5 never saw the light of day. When asked if it was a tough call to move away from single-player DLC to focus on GTA Online, Sawar said, quote, "No, it was not really a conscious decision, it's just what happened." Sawar explains that a combination of working on ports to current-gen consoles for GTA 5, free GTA Online content, and work on Red Dead Redemption 2, of course, quote, sucked up a lot of resources.
Subconsciously working on those microtransactions, Mike, isn't it?
Yeah, it just couldn't help it. It just kind of happened.
Subconsciously.
So, in short, Rockstar were just too damn busy to work on single-player DLC. Sawar also said the single-player campaign was pretty much a full single-player package as it was. He said it was, quote, absolutely massive and very, very complete. It was 3 games in one.
And to be fair, it is hard to disagree with that statement. GTA 5 is a very big game that didn't feel incomplete. GTA 5 was a huge, expansive game and has sat happily in the top 10 charts for 4 years now, thanks largely, of course, to the success of GTA Online. But does that mean Rockstar never wanted to make single-player DLC? Apparently no. According to Sawar, quote, "We would love to do more single-player add-ons for games in future. As a company, we love single-player more than anything and believe in it absolutely." Sounds like it's, you know, the Lord Savior above. We believe in you, single-player.
Feels like a corporate training video. So, here at Rockstar, we believe in single-player more than anything.
For storytelling and a sense of immersion in a world. Multiplayer games just don't rival single-player games.
But Rockstar aren't the only company to speak out about the importance of single-player recently. Yes, Machine Games, the devs behind Wolfenstein II, which is out this week, have also been flying the flag for single-player games, saying development of a multiplayer mode for that game would dilute the storytelling. In an interview with GamesIndustry.biz at Gamescom, which emerged online just this week, Wolfenstein narrative designer Tommy Tortzen-Bjork said, quote, "The only way we can create these super immersive narrative experiences is if we can solely focus on the single player." Now that's quite a change in tone from recent trends in the industry. Things have become so focused on multiplayer these days that single player campaigns end up feeling like the thing that's slapped on afterwards, not the other way round. Tortzen-Bjork went on to say that he sees Wolfenstein games as action adventures rather than shooters, quote, "because we feel there's so much more to them than just shooting." There is a lot of shooting though. There is an awful lot of shooting going on in the first-person shooter Wolfenstein. Kind of got a point though. There's a lot of story going on there as well. So this is interesting. 2 big companies coming out flying a flag for single player. I mean, the games industry one is obviously games industry's decision to publish these quotes at this time because they interviewed him at Gamescom, so it's the first we're actually reading it. But it's just interesting the timing of these 2 stories while everyone is going crazy about loot boxes and microtransactions and online functionality and flipping everything. 2 of the biggest maybe single-player game makers are saying, hey, don't worry you guys, we're still going to be making single-player games.
And it's no coincidence that everyone's making videos on YouTube and articles coming out this week about single-player games versus multiplayer games, because on the back of last week's announcement that EA have closed Visceral Games and they're switching from a single-player Star Wars game, are going to be now focused towards a multiplayer game. This is good timing for them. It's a layup for them. It's like, how do we get people talking about us? How do we get people talking about our games? I know. Tell people what they want, which is single-player games, which is what everyone's talking about right now.
It also feels a little bit, in Rockstar's case, like they're just lining up Red Dead Redemption 2 DLC. And you'll notice this a lot in companies when they'll start turning the conversation towards something before they actually announce something related to that. So it might be a long time before we hear about it, but it sounds to me like they're working on Red Dead Redemption 2 DLC, and that is obviously on their minds at the moment. DLC, single-player DLC for their games, because there was a complete lack of it on GTA 5. So maybe just subconsciously it's coming out like, oh yeah, we really like single-player DLC, we're going to be focusing on it a lot. You would say that kind of thing if you were secretly working on it. Do you know what I mean?
This is one of the things that the community has been saying about GTA 5 all along. They wanted more single-player content and not focusing on online expansions and stuff like that. So this is kind of good news in a way, right? The fact that they might already be planning the DLC is a bit problematic for me. I hope they're not just ripping parts of the game off and thinking, oh, we can charge for this separate. Do what they did with GTA 5. Make it a huge game that is worthy of a full price title first. And then after you finish creating that game and then you've sold it to us, then start working on a DLC.
None of this day one shite. I've got complete faith that they won't do that. So it is interesting to see 2 big companies companies coming out in favour of single player, going against the grain a little bit here and reassuring everyone that they still are going to make single player games, and it just flies in the face of all them thumbnails, headlines and YouTube titles that we've seen saying that single player games are dead. We're actually talking about this topic in full on the podcast, which will be live to everyone on Monday, but it's live to patrons on Wednesday.
Speaking of Red Dead Redemption 2, would you rather take single player DLC over free online updates? Let us know down in the comments below. Like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new around here. There's another video for you to watch right now there. Support us on Patreon if you are awesome, and we'll see you again in the next video. Until then, bye for now.